Hi, and welcome everyone to Let's Play Final Fantasy episode 16. And in the previous episode, we have finally completed the Crystal Tower raid series. So in this episode, we are returning to the main story, and we are starting patch 2.2 with the quest Still Waters. And so we will be returning to the Rising Stones after being a hiatus for a number of episodes. So without further ado, let's go say hi to our fellow Scions and see how they've been doing. Also, for those of you who are still needing to update your gear, you can visit this store and upgrade your gear for Tombstones of Poetics. You get that from the Crystal Tower raid series and the last three dungeons from Arealmreborn. Okay, we are here in the Solar, the Inner Sanctum, and we need to speak to Minfilia. And here we go. Truly, there is no rest for the weary. Scarce had I begun to make myself at home when I received a request for assistance from the Amagina and Sons mineral concern. It would appear their storehouse in Horizon has been the target of a series of covert robberies. Minor as they seem in isolation, occasional discrepancies in the manifest were long dismissed as clerical errors. It was only during the concern's annual audit that a pattern became apparent. Significant quantity of crystals, and only crystals, were missing. I need hardly tell you what that may imply. The Brass Blades, charged with investigating the thefts, believe that someone within the concern is selling the crystals for profit. Alas, they have yet been unable to identify a likely suspect, and the concern's proprietors have grown frustrated at their lack of progress. Needless to say, I would not have agreed to intervene had the stolen goods been of merely monetary value. If there is even a possibility that the thief acts not out of self-interest but in the service of a primal, we can ill afford to wait for the Blades to realize their mistake. Pray, depart for Horizon at your earliest convenience. Rendezvous with Y'shtola when you arrive. She and Thancred have already begun a preliminary investigation. I have every confidence that the three of you will get to the bottom of these thefts. I only hope our fears prove unfounded when you do. Alright, and off we go to deal with a new, supposedly primal threat. And we need to go to the city of Horizon. Okay, we are in Horizon. We are in central or western Thanalan, right at the ramp down to the swamp just before Vesper Bay. Let's get rid of Maggie here. Let's find our contacts, which is Y'shtola. Ah, Lightbringer, your assistance is most welcome. I have already spoken at length with the Brass Blades of the Rose, albeit to little avail. It would seem that the thieves took great pains to conceal their activities. I could go into further detail, but your time might be better spent in conversation with Fuhulupa. He's the officer in charge with leading the investigation, and I would only be repeating that which he related to me. If aught eluded my attention, mayhap it would not elude yours. Sorry for the break there. Had a cat block my view of the screen here. Oh, hello there, Lightbringer. Was it? Y'shtola said to expect you. Terrible business, these thefts. We have yet to confirm the quantity of crystals stolen, but I dare say it may be greater than... Ah, but never mind that. I have news to share. A short while ago, the driver of a heavily laden carriage refused to halt for inspection and broke through one of our checkpoints on the Royal Elegant Sunway. The car bolted off towards eastern Thanalan. There, thank the gods, I hear that our colleagues were able to apprehend them without further incident. Sorry, Sov. I gotta read. A speeding carriage? That would seem a curious choice for thieves of such proven cunning. Yet the Amalja do have a foothold in eastern Thanalan. And what of their cargo? Did they carry the crystals we seek? We should be receiving a report any moment now, but I fail to see what else could... Did you miss me, friends? I'm back, but I fear I come bearing disappointing news. Or, on second thought, perhaps it's good news after all. Tancred, wherever have you been to? I figured you had everything under control here, so I just took a brief excursion to the east to check up on our Amalja friends. And wouldn't you believe it? I happened upon a runaway carriage on the way, and even was able to do my small part to help my friends in the Brass Blades intercept it. In all my years, I have never seen such a prodigious quantity of somnus. The Blades were calling it one of the greatest hauls they've ever seen. The stolen crystals, on the other hand, were nowhere to be found. Is that so? At last, I suppose we have no choice but to resume our search elsewhere. We should still reassess our options as well. Come with us, Lightbringer. Against all expectation, it would seem the Amalja are innocent of this particular spat of crimes. By all indications, they have yet to replenish the stores of crystals exhausted during their last attempt to summon Ifrit. What I can't fathom is why anyone else would go to such lengths to obtain crystals, and in such quantities. It cannot be that we are dealing with simple thieves. Their motives were profit. Why would they limit their trade to crystals alone? Plainly, we are missing something. While you think about what it might be, I shall inform Eorzea of our progress, or lack thereof.
Now then. Tis I. The situation may be more complicated than we anticipated.
Indeed, I shall remain watchful. Ere thou goest, another matter requireth thine attention. A young maiden, full eager to... Wherefore inquirest thou of her fairness? Very well. Be she damsel or devil, I shall direct her steps to Revenant's Toll. Save thine insinuations for one given to such impropriety. Thou shalt not find me amenable.
We have visitors.
Far across the sea from the land of Domar have we traveled. We seek audience with the ruler of these lands. Who here speaks for you?
All right, off we go to a final temptation. Any bright ideas? A solitary flash of insight? No? Well then, for want of a better suggestion, I say we try picking Wuhulupa's brain again. Who knows? If we work together, we may yet find something of use nestled away within it. And we'll see what else he can say here. Oh, but it is good news you see you return. I have given some thought to the matter, and I have just hit upon a most disturbing possibility. How could I have been so blind? Calm yourself, Fufulupa. What is the disturbing possibility of which you speak? I was contemplating as to how the thieves' activities escaped our notice for so long, and then it came to me. What if there's someone among our own ranks conspiring with them? A traitor in our own midst? It would be most unfortunate if your fears prove well founded. Indeed, if for reasons of security the concern decided to transfer the remaining crystals stored in Horizon to another location, their plans would be discovered the moment the brass blades were informed. But such a shipment would surely be well guarded. Would thieves as wily as ours risk open confrontation? Mayhap not, but neither would the concern be eager to present them with such an obvious target. Nay, they might instead elect to carry out the transfer in secret, to entrust the goods to, let's say, a lone Makoti miner traveling without escort so as not to attract undue attention. But who? Ah, I see. Yes, the concern may well elect to do that. But to travel with so much cargo would be a strenuous task indeed. And this miner would certainly need to rest upon the way. Mayhap north of the bridge to Hammerley? A fine spot for a rest. Would you not agree, Lightbringer? You lie in wait to the north, and I shall do the same to the south. Forgive me, my friends, but I have received new orders. I must inform my men at once. Call me a cynic, but I would be surprised if these thieves laid down their arms and surrender. See that you come prepared to offer them some encouragement. Okay. So this is the bridge in question. And so we're going to wait around... right around here. And don't worry about these mobs attacking you. We're so high level that unless we attack them directly, they're not going to bother us. Okay, where the next one? Storming to the last, as I expected. You're unharmed? A gang of sea wolf thieves in Enthanaland, no less. I suppose there's a first time for everything. Sea wolves? All of them? Aye. And all with the same tastes and facial tattoos. Blue, in case you were wondering. Our thieves are a long way from home. Guys? Thancred, if you would be so good as to attend to the outstanding matters in Horizon, I have inquiries to make. To Horizon, then. Fifalupa will want to hear about your meeting with the thieves. On behalf of the Brass Blades of the Rose, I thank you for your service to Horizon. But we have not been idle. While you were afield, we succeeded in identifying the traitor within our ranks. Is that so? Then, by your leave, I should very much like to have a word with the fellow in private. No, I am afraid that will not be possible. Regrettably, he, managed to subdue the unit of blades dispatched to detain him, and made good his escape. Oh, for the love of... And how did he manage that exactly? Your men haven't been sampling the somnus we confiscated, have they? Or was he a giant in disguise? No, but he was quite strong. A sea wolf. The medicine born and raised, I believe. But do not worry. We will find him. You have my word on that. I see. Pray, keep me apprised of any developments. Yes? She is standing next to me. Understood. I fear our time together is at an end, my friend. Your services are required elsewhere. Awfully disappointing, I know, but one must follow where duty leads. You might try to look a little disappointed, or do you mean to give me another one of your stoic nods? You do, don't you? Actually, no. Not a healer. So we'll finish off with this one, the Mother of Exiles. The Descendant bid me you come to make for Vesper Bay, where young Alphnaud awaits your coming most eagerly. It was he who requested your assistance. Some common commotion or incident, I am not privy to the details. While you do whatever it is that Alphnaud has planned for you, I shall endeavor to track down our traitorous brass blade. And when I do, you may rest assured that he will have our answers. Okay. You're late. No matter. I know where our visitors are headed. From what I have been able to gather, this vessel belongs to a band of Domans who seek an audience with the Sultana. You are familiar with Doma, yes? And authored? Well, like the rest of the nations of the Eastern continent, it is ruled by the Garlean Empire. Given our visitors' unannounced arrival, as well as the state of their ship, I suspect they did not leave their homeland under the best of circumstances. Needless to say, I should be very interested to hear their tale. And more importantly, what they know of the current state of affairs in the Empire. Such information could prove most useful. We will be fools not to pursue this opportunity, do you not think? Come with me to Ul'dah, Lightbringer. Unless I am mistaken, and I am rarely mistaken, we will find the Domans bickering with the Sultan Sworn on the royal promenade. You are uncertain of your role in the proceedings? Insurance. If our guests are not themselves Imperial agents, it seems fair to assume they might be being pursued by some. And if not, who better than you to have on hand in the event of an unforeseen diplomatic incident? Besides, I do so enjoy your sparkling repertoire. Satisfied? Good. I shall see you in Ul'dah. Okay. For the sake of time... Yeah, I believe the Chamber of Rule is the one we want. Let's see if I'm correct in my... It matters not how many times you ask. Without the necessary permissions, none shall pass. Pray understand, good sir. We have not the leisure to lodge a formal petition. Time is of the essence. All I ask is that you summon your superior. Allow me to plead my case. Surely you can grant us that small kindness. Away with you, and darken these doors no longer. I will not ask again. You know not what you do. I gather your pleas fell on deaf ears. A loyal man with a cold heart. I know his kind well. I hope that you will find more to your liking. Alphnaud Leveilleur at your service, a friend. Which I believe makes me very nearly unique. In this part of the world, at least, very few indeed are your allies in Ul'dah. Yet you will need some if you wish to endeavor yourselves to the wealthy and powerful. Pray, join me and my associate at the Quicksand. There you may explain your situation to us, and we shall see if there is aught we can do to help.
We have traveled some several thousand miles across the sea from the nation of Doma, in hopes that we might find sanctuary in these lands.
Sanctuary, Lady Yugiri?
Aye. Lying within Othard, Doma was under the dominion of the Garlean Empire, as I'm sure you are aware. When the War of Succession broke out in Garlemald, we espied an opportunity to free ourselves from the yoke of imperial oppression and took up arms. Only to be crushed. And so I gathered what few Domans escaped the reckoning and guided them hither to your shores.
A war of succession? Then the Emperor... Forgive me. You said that Doma was under Imperial rule, did you not?
Doma is gone. Razed to the ground as an example to the other provinces.
"12 have mercy. And your people?"
On a ship anchored in Vesper Bay, flying borrowed colors. Many were complicit in the rebellion, or akin to those who were. They will not come ashore until I send word that it is safe to do so. I sought an audience with your rulers, but was summarily refused.
The lords of Ul'dah are not wont to entertain foreign refugees without suitable encouragement.
Mayhap I was foolish to expect otherwise, but our supplies run low and we have young ones in urgent need of care. I have seen the tents outside the gates, however. We are not the first to seek asylum, nor will we be the last.
Be that as it may, Ul'dah is no friend to Garlemald. Your tale would stir the hearts of many men and women here. The Sultana and the Syndicate will not be so easily swayed, but I shall see that you are granted an opportunity to plead your case.
This is within your power?
Well, far be it from me to boast, but I do have the ear of certain influential individuals.
I am in your debt.
Lady Yugiri, forgive me for observing, but your choice of attire seems like to evoke feelings of mistrust.
Men are wont to fear the unfamiliar. We know this from experience. We seek only to spare the people of Ul'dah unnecessary disquiet.
I shall defer to your experience, then.
I thank you for your understanding.
It seems I have urgent business with the Flame General. I leave our guests in your capable hands.
Okay. Now, some of this will be done quickly, but looks like I have a little bit more. If I may, madam, as I said earlier, we have been at sea for some several moons, and our supplies are all but spent. I have not the heart to repeat the tales of our tribulations, nor would it please you to listen to them, I think. Suffice it to say, however, sacrifices have been made. Though it shames me to beg for more when you have already offered so much, desperation compels me. Good madam, If you or your associates could spare any provisions, anything at all, it would go a long way to lessen the suffering of my people. And let's speak to Mamadi. Hells, why didn't you say so sooner, Lightbringer? Of course I'll help. You couldn't have picked a better day. To tell the truth, a wealthy merchant and his entourage were due to have a banquet here on the morrow, see? But just sent word they can't come, meaning I've got a boatload of foodstuffs and no one to feed. Best of all, they paid for the lot in advance. Go and call on Furia and Catherine at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Tell them I said to ship the little prince's order to the Wakingsands. Oh, and if they argue, just show them those letters. That should set them straight. Okay, here's Catherine. My, that's a rather odd request. May I have you misheard her instructions? No, here you go. You know, you shouldn't encourage them like this. They'll start to expect it. You mark my words. She's in the business of feeding the refugees now. I ain't normally one to question Miss Mamadi's judgment, but that doesn't seem wise to me. I'll not speak for the children, but you ask me, any man what can earn a crust deserves to go hungry. Unfortunately, Uldal, being the nation of gold, does not look kindly to refugees. They didn't give you any trouble, did they? Good. Now go and tell Lady Ugiri it's all in hand. I dare not hope for such magnanimity, much less expect it. Mistress Mamadi is generous indeed, and I should be sure to thank her most humbly. Lady Ugiri, I briefed the Flame General on your situation. I think you will be pleased with his reply. We have been granted an audience? Before the Sultana and the Syndicate both, we should return to the Royal Promenade at once. You have done much for us, Master Alphnaud. I swear we shall return the favor. Naught is owed, Lady Ugiri, for none has been given. This small favor you fairly won with your words, and it is with words that you must win the favor of the Syndicate. Then I shall choose them with care. You will be accompanying us, yes? Good. Your presence may serve to remind the Syndicate of the true meaning of philanthropy, and that's nothing so unpalatable will be required of them, assuming the Domans are willing to earn their keep. Come, the Flame General awaits us on the promenade. We'll roll on. A pleasure, Lightbringer. The others are already inside. Let us not keep them waiting.
I, Ugiri of Domar, am honored to meet you at last, Your Grace. To mark this auspicious occasion, I should like to present to you the finest treasures our humble nation has to offer. Alas, the circumstances which have brought me here today have divested me of both time and dignity. I come before you as a pauper in direst need of aid, to request that you grant my people asylum.
I, Nanamo, 17th in the line of Ul, welcome you to our city. Be at ease, Lady Ugiri. Although I myself have heard the tale of your misfortune, I would ask that you recount it once more for the benefit of the others here present.
As you wish, Your Grace. For many years, my nation, Doma, suffered under the yoke of imperial rule, and my people yearned to be free. Thus, when a war of succession broke out in Garlemald, we sought to take advantage of the chaos and reclaim our liberty. Alas, our enemy proved less preoccupied than we had hoped, and our rebellion was put down in the most brutal fashion.
Those who survived, how many do they number?
More than 200 souls huddle within the cramped confines of our own galleon's hold. Yet this figure accounts for but one of a number of ships which escaped the purge. It is my hope that you will allow us all to dwell within your walls. Should that prove unfeasible, however, I humbly ask that you accept as many of my people as your resources allow. Pray understand, we do not beg a boon, but propose instead an arrangement. We would serve as soldiers or tradesmen until our debt is repaid.
What are the Syndicate's opinions on this matter?
I, for one, think it's a marvelous idea. Lady Ugiri and her people strike me as an industrious lot, and there are parts of the city which have yet to be fully restored. If they are willing to work, I see no reason not to let them.
The head of the Mirage Trust is not known for his generosity. He sees profit in this.
I agree. That said, these are foreign refugees. To admit them would require a formal resolution. Shall we call a vote?
The law is the law.
Lord Lolorito?
Tell me, are you blind or willfully ignorant? Even now, our streets are choked with the displaced victims of the Calamity and Alamigan refugees. They live hand to mouth, subsisting on aid provided by the immortal flames, the cost of which grows ever higher. The wealth of Ul'dah is not without limits, my friends. And need I remind you that these refugees are prone to violence and criminal activity? You have all read the reports, I think. Without homes or employment, it is only a matter of time before men grow desperate and take that which they imagine has been unjustly denied them. Yet, knowing this, you would have us swell their ranks. Mayhap you think the brass blades and the flames are not hard-pressed enough?
Some say the chairman of the East Aldenard Trading Company passes Gil thrice daily. This may explain how he came to be the wealthiest man in Ul'dah. Or it may simply be that he's ruthless beyond reckoning.
Surely the Sultanate can support the few hundred domins Lady Ugiri represents. That our resources have been taxed, I do not deny. But we are hardly in danger of financial collapse. I move that an exception be made.
An exception, Your Grace? I am suddenly reminded of a similar debate some years ago regarding a number of Alamigan refugees, if memory serves. What were your words that day? Ah, yes. The law is the law. And so our visitors remained in Little Alamigo. Mayhap our wise and benevolent Sultana would be so good as to enlighten us as to which other of our laws should not be upheld.
Mind your tongue, Lolorito.
My lord, I share your concern for the welfare of our great nation, but we must endeavor to take a longer view. You know as well as I that people can be a resource still more precious than gil.
Precious or not, they were never yet so reliable. And unlike those who frequent your establishment, I have no desire to gamble with my future. Ul'Dah's greatest asset is, and has ever been, her material wealth. We risk this at our peril. One need only look to Teleji Adeleji's example for evidence of the danger in allowing sentiment to dictate policy. How far the vaunted Mirage hath fallen, both in repute and profitability, since he began employing refugees.
How I choose to conduct my affairs is not your concern, my lord.
A proposal has been tabled. Given its urgency, I move we forego further debate and call a vote. To accept the Doman refugees or not. Those in favor, I bid you remain. Those opposed, I bid you leave.
Would that it were within my power to welcome you and your people, Lady Yugiri. As you have observed, however, my authority in such matters is regrettably limited. Without the consent of the Syndicate, I cannot act.
I understand, Your Grace, and I appreciate all that you have done on our behalf.
The nerve of the man! If that bastard had not forsaken the eastern trade route, Little Alamigo would now be thriving. Oh, that you should have traveled so far under such dire circumstances, only to be refused in this manner is utterly unconscionable. Pray, accept my sincerest apologies.
Now that the Empire no longer poses an immediate threat, they see little reason to maintain the pretense of unity. The Monitorists have grown especially defiant of late. Lord Lolorito most of all. But this is neither the time nor place for that discussion.
And that's going to do it for today's episode. Next time, we will continue with the next mission, Promises to Keep. But for now, thank you for watching. Thank you for continuing. Thank you for watching. And if you did enjoy any part of this episode, please leave a like, as it does encourage me to keep this series going. Anyway, until next time, take care. And we'll see you then.